we meet again, in thunder, lightning, or in rain.
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun. Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth. I come, Grimlekin.
Habit calls.
Anon! Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hurry through the fog and the filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report as signifies point of the revolt of the new estate.
This is the sergeant, who like a good and hardy soldier fought into my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou dost leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spencermers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, fortune that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles, the currents and gallows glasses is supplied, and fortune on his damn cruel smiling, sure like a rebel's sword. But all's too weak for brave Macbeth. Well, she deserves that name, disdaining fortune with her brain of steel, like valor's minion, carved out her passage. Till she faced the slave, she knew shook hands nor bade farewell to him. Till she unseamed him from the nave to the chops, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Oh, valiant cousin, worthiest gentlewoman.
As once the sun begins his reflection, shipwrecks and storms and dire fell thunders break. So from that spring whence comfort seemed to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark. No sooner justice had, with valor armed, compelled these skipping currents to trust their heels. The Norwegian lord, surveying advantage with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismay not this our captains Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, as fair as eagles, or the hair their lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks. So they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe, except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds. You memorize another Golgotha. I cannot tell, but I am faint. My gashes cry for help.
So all thy worth become these thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go, get him surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
When a haste looks through his eyes, so should he look that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Whence came thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Pawona's bridegroom laughed and grew, confronting him with self-comparisons, curbing his lavish spirit. To conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness.
That now, Sweno, the Norway's king craves composition, nor would he deign the burial of his men till he disperse it at St. Combs Inch, $10,000 to our general use.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, and pronounce his death, and with his former title, Greek Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou? A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I. Aroint thee, witch, the rump-fed Runnian cried. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master o' the tiger. But in a sea all thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and
I'll give thee a whip.
thou art kind, and I another. I myself have all the other, and the very ports they blow, all the quarters that they know in the shipman's card. I'll drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live, a man forbid. Weary 7 nights, 9 times 9 shall he dwindle and pine. And though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest-tossed. Look what I have.
Show me, show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb, wrapped his homeward he did come.
A drum, Macbeth doth come.
The weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus do go about, thrice to thine and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up nine. Peace, the charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is it to forest? Were these so wild and withered in their attire that they look not like inhabitants of the earth and yet are honest? Live you, or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me by each at once putting a choppy finger to her lips. I should interpret that you are women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so. Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
Hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start to seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are you fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly you show? You greet my noble partner here with present grace and great convictions of noble havings and a royal hope, which she seemed wrapped withal. And yet, to me you speak not. If you could look into the seeds of time and see which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg your favors nor fear your hate.
Hail,
Hail.
Hail!
lesser than Macbeth, and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth. All hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. By silence death I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you! What?
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed!
Were such things here as we speak about, or have we eaten the insane root that takes reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings,
You shall be king.
and Thane of Cawdor too. What did not so?
The self-same tune in words. Who's there?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads of thy personal ventures in the rebels' fight, his praises and his wonders do contend which should be thine or his. Silence with that, in viewing of the rest of the self-same day, he finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks. Nothing afeard of what thyself didst make, strange images of death. As thick as tale came post with post, and everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defense, poured them down before him. We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee, in which an earnest greater honor he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor. Which addition hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What, can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with Norway, nor did line the rebel with hidden help or vantage, or he did both to labor his country's wrack, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proven, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thank you, gentlemen. Do you not hope that your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promise no less to them?
That, trusted home, might kindle you unto the crown besides Cawdor, but 'tis strange, and oftentimes, to win us to our harms, The instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, and then betray us in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be good, cannot be ill. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that image that doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thoughts, whose murder is but fantastical, shaped so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and all is but what is not.
Look, our partner is wrapped.
If chance may crown me king, why, chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon her, and like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, you stay upon your leisure.
Give me a favor. My dull brain was wrought with things long forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered for every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chance, and at a more time, the intern having waited, let us speak our three hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends!
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back. But I spoke to one that saw him die, who did report that, very frankly, he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like the leaving it. He died as one who was studied in his death, to throw away the dearest thing he owed, as 'twere a careless trifle.
Ah, there's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now is heavy on me. Thou art so far before that swiftest wing of recompenses, slow to overtake thee. But thou hast no less deserved that the proportion of both thanks and payments might have been mine. Only I have left to say, more as I do than more than all can pay.
The service and loyalty I owe in doing so pays itself. Your highness's part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne and to state children and servants who do but what they should by doing everything safe toward your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I've begun to plant thee and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, thou hast no less deserved, nor less to have known, nor less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is all your own.
Oh, my plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and youths whose place is our nearest. No, we will establish our estate upon our eldest Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honor must accompany not invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers, from hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger and make joyful my wife with the hearing of your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at hand, but let that be what the eye fears when it is done to see.
True, worthy Banquo, she is so valiant in her accommodations I have fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after her, whose care is gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfect report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood, wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming out of time with, "Hail, King that shalt be." This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dew of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, without the illness should attend it. But thou hast highly, and wouldst thou holily, would not play false and yet would wrongly win. Thou'st have great Glamis, that which cries thus thou must do, if thou have it, and that which that rather thou dost fear to do, than wishes should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with you, who, were it so, would have informed for preparation?
So please you it is true, our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of her, who, almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The Raven himself is horse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full with direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no contemptuous visitings of nature shake my fell purpose. Come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers. That you and your sightless substance, you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall me in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peer through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold. Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all hail hereafter. My letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, it is a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put tonight's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our days and nights to come give us solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
And then look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
This gust of summer, the temple-haunting martlet, does approve by his love and masonry that heaven's breath smells wooingly here. No jutty, frieze, buttress, nor point of vantage, but this bird doth make his pendant bed and procreant cradle. Were they most free in haunt? I have observed. The air is delicate.
See, our honored hostess. The love that follows us is sometimes our trouble, which we still think is love. Here we teach you how you shall bid God in lust for your pains and thank us for your troubles.
All our service, at every point twice done and then done double, were but poor and single business to contend these honors deep and broad which your majesty loads our house. From those of old, and the late dignitaries heaped up to them, we rest your hermits.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed her at the heels and had a purpose to be her purveyor. What She rides well, and her great love, sharp as her spur, has brought her to her home before us. Noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs is come to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine hostess. We love her highly and will continue our graces toward her. We'll buy your leave.
If it were done when 'tis done, and 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence, and catch with his Circe's success, that this blow might be the be-all, end-all here. But here, on this banquet shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his subject and kinsman, strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath been so meek in his faculties, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued, against the deep damnation of his taking off. Pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubims forced upon the sightless quarters of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears may drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, only vaulting ambition, which else o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. Hannah, what news?
He is almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not, he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which should be worn in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Has it slept since? And it wakes now to look so green and pale and what it did so freely? From this time shall I account thy love. Art thou feared to be the same in thine own art and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest ornament of life, and live an hour in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the attic?
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to become more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor peace nor time to then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you had done to this.
But if we should
You
fail!
fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains will I, with wine and wassail, soundly convince the memory, the warder of the brain, to be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I put on the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose of nothing but males. Will it not be received, when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their very daggers, that they have done it?
Who dares receive another, when we make great and clamor roar upon his death?
I was settled, and bend up every corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fair show, while space must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, my boy?
The moon is out, I have not yet heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12?
I take it as later, sir.
Hold, take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. The candles are all out. A great summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciless powers restrain me in the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there?
A friend.
What, sir? Not yet at rest. The king's abed. He hath been in great countenance and has sent forth a great largesse to your offices. He bade me give you this jewel to give your wife withal, set up in the most measureless content in the name of the most kind hostess.
Being unprepared, our servant become the will to defect, which else should free of rot.
All's well. I dreamt last night of the Weird Sisters. To you they have shown some truth.
I think not of them. Yet when we can entreat an hour to serve, we should spend some words on that business, if you would grant the time.
I have your kindest leisure.
If you would cleave to my consent, when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it and to keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. Good night to you. Yes?
Go bid thy mistress. When thy drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat of pressed brain? I see thee still, in a form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshalled me the way I was going. Such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon, gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now o'er the one-half world nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder, alarmed by his sentinel, the wolf, whose howls his watch, thus with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides, moves towards his design like a ghost. I'm sure, confirmed such earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stone should prate of my whereabouts, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. As I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold a breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell. It summons me to heaven, or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. That which hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. It was the owl that screeched, a fatal bellman which gives the sterntest good night. She is about it. The sure-fighted grooms do mock their charge with snores. The doors are open. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them whether they live or die.
Who's there? What? Who?
Alack, time of fear they are waked, and 'tis not done. 'Tis the attempt and not the deed which confounds us. Hark, I laid their daggers ready, she could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I'd have done it. My wife.
I have done the deed. Dost thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did you not speak? When? Now.
two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands listening their fear. I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
Well, wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of a blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after in these ways, if so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more! Macbeth does murder sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that knits the raveled sleeve of care, death of each day's life, sore labor's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Macbeth does murder, Glamis does murder sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? My worthy thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hands. Why did you bring the daggers from this place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no further. I'm afraid to think of what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infernal purpose. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but his pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's oceans wash this blood clean from my hand? No. This my hand would rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color. They shame to wear a heart so white.
I hear knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your continence has left you unattended. Hark more knocking. Put on your nightgown, lest occasion call and see us to be watchers. Do not lie so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wait, Duncan, with thy knocking, I would thou couldst!
Here's a knocking indeed. Ugh. From our porter of Hellgate, he should have all turning the key. Oh, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's the farmer who hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, farmer. Have napkins enough about ye. Here, you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? Face. Here's an equivocator who could swear in both scales against either scale, who committed treason for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Ooh, come in, equivocator! Oh, knock, knock, who's there? Faith, here's an English tailor. Come hither for stealing out of a French house. Come in, tailor. Here, you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never it quiet. What are ye? Oh, this place is too cold for hell. I'll devil portrait no further. I had thought to have let in some of all the professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. And on and on.
I pray you, sir,
it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we work arousing till the second cock. And drink, sir, is a provoker of 3 things.
What 3 things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him and remars him. It sets him on and takes him off. It makes him stand to and not stand to. It equivocates him to sleep, then giving him the lie, it leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir! In the very throat on me! But I requited him for his lie, and I was bit too strong for him, though he did take up my leg sometime. But I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Are knocking at the waiter. Here she comes.
Good morrow, noble ma'am. Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
He did command me call timely upon him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble for you, yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today? He does. He did appoint so. Our night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamenting stirred the air. Strange screams of death and accents prophesying. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake. It was a rough night. My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror, horror! Tongue nor heart cannot name nor conceive thee.
What's the matter?
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple and stolen hence the life of the place.
What is it you say? The life! Mean you his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See and then speak yourselves. Awake, awake! Murder and treason! Ring the alarm bell. Banquo, Malcolm, Donalbain, awake! Shake off this dowdy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look upon death itself. Up, up, and see the great doom's image. Malcolm and Banquo, as from your graves rise up like sprites to countenance this horror. Ring the bell!
What business is this? Such a hideous trumpet comes to parley the sleepers of the house. Speak, speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I may speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, noble Banquo, our royal master is murdered.
Whoa! Alas, what? In our house? Too cruel anywhere. Dear dumb, I'm pretty. Contradict thyself and say it's not so.
Had I but died an hour before this instant, I would have lived a blessed time, for there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Grace and renown is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees has left this vault to brag of. What is amiss? You are, and yet you do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father is murdered.
What? By whom? Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were badged with blood. So were their daggers, which, upon their pillows, we found. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them. Yet I do repent me of my fury, that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outrun the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs look like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There, the murderers, steeped in the color of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in one's heart, courage to make love known? Help me hence. Ah!
Look to the lady.
Why do we hold our tongues when most may claim this argument for ours? What should be spoken here where our fate, hidden in auger hole, may rush and seize us? Let's away, our tears are not yet brewed, nor our strong sorrows upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady. And when we have our naked frailties hid that suffered exposure, let us agree to meet again and question this most bloody deed. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and against this undivulged pretense, I vow to fight against treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So all. Let's put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Look attended.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office a false man does easy. Haul to England.
To Ireland I. Our separated fortunes shall keep us both safer. Where we are, there's daggers in men's smiles. The near in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse and let us not be dainty with leave-taking, but shift away. There's more in that theft that steals itself when there is no mercy left.
I do remember well. Within the volume of this time I have seen hours dreadful and things strange. But this sore night hath trifled former knowings.
Good father, thou seest the heavens as troubled with man's act, threatens his bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the traveling lamp. Is it the night's predominance or the day's shame that darkness does the face of earth entomb, when living light should kiss it?
'Tis unnatural, like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, the falcon towering in her pride of place was by a mousing owl hawked and killed.
And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift, the minions of their race, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out, contending against obedience, as they would make war with mankind.
'Tis said they eat each other.
They did so, to the amazement of mine eyes that looked upon it. Here comes the good Macduff. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still, thriftless ambition that will raven up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
She's already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, the ancient storehouse of his ancestors and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin, out to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, father.
God's benison be with you, and with those who make good of bad and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all the weird women promised. And yet I fear thou hast played most foully for it. Yet it was said that it should not just set up thy posterity, but that of myself should be the root and father of many kings. If their speeches ring true, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why, on the verities of thee made good, be they not my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest. He had been forgotten. It would be a great gap in our feast and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I request your presence.
Let your highness command upon to me which with my duties are with the most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon, I, my good lord. We should have else desired your good advice, which hath been both grave and prosperous in this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
Not far, my lord, as far will fill the time twixt now and supper. Go not my horse the better. Must I become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain?
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We here our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow, when we shall have cause of state craving us jointly. Hie you to your horse, adieu, till you return at night. Goes Fleance with you.
Aye, my lord, our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, as I do so commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone. While then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure. They are, my lord, without the palace gate. Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear, as under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar's. He chid the sisters when they first put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they heralded him lying to a father of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my grip, thus to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for them have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace, and given my eternal jewel to the common enemy of man, to make them kings, the seeds of Banquo kings. Rather so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Now go to the door and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday when we last spoke?
It was,
so please, your highness.
Well then, now have you considered of my speeches? No, it was he, in times past, which held you so under fortune, who you thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference, passed in probation with you, how you were born in hand, how crossed the instruments, who wrought with them, and all things else, to half a soul and to a notion crazed, say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so, and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel to pray for that good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue you go for men. As hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, sows, water rugs, and demi-wolves are clept all by the name of dogs. The valued file distinguishes the swift, the slow, the subtle, the housekeeper, the hunter, each one according to the gift which bounteous nature hath in him bestowed, whereby he does receive particular addition from the bill that writes them all alike, and so of men. Now, if you have a station in the file, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put in your bosoms that business whose execution takes your enemy off, grapples you to the heart and love of us, who were our health but sickly in our life, which in his death were perfect.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of this world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disaster, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid of it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine, as such that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could, with barefaced power, sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down. Thence to your assistance do I make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our lives
Your spirits shine through you. Within this hour at most I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with a perfect spy of the time, the moment on it, for it must be done tonight, and something from the palace. Always thought I require a clearness. And with him, to leave no rubs nor botches in the work, Fleance, his son, that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart, I'll call you anon.
We resolve,
my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it must find heaven, must find out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend her leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught had, all spent, were our desires got without content. To be safer to be that which we destroy, than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorry his fancies your companions making, using these thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
Scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint. Now both the worlds suffer. Ere we will eat our meal in fear, and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, who we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than to lie on the torture of the mind that lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done its worst. Nor steel, nor poison, nor malice domestic, foreign levies, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle, my lord, sleek o'er your rugged looks, be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So I shall, love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence both with eye and tongue, the while we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, making our faces visits to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou know'st Banquo and his Fleance lives.
But in them nature's copies not return.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. And be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate's summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal, is to be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, seely night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand, cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, And the crow makes wing o'er the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, and night's black agents to their prey doth rouse. Thou marvelest at my words. Hold thee still. Bad things make strong themselves by ill. So prithee, go with me.
But who did bid thee join with us?
Macbeth,
He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do to the direction just.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the later traveler apace to gain the timely inn. Near approaches the subject of our watch.
hark, I hear horses.
Here's a light there!
Then 'tis he. The rest that are within the note of expectation already are in the court.
His horses go about.
Almost a mile, but he does usually, so all men do. From hence to the palace gate make it their walk.
All right.
'Tis he.
Stand to it.
It'll be raining tonight.
Let it come down!
Fire! Fly! 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 Thou mayest revenge!
Who did strike out the light?
Was it not the way?
There's but one dead, the sun is fled.
So we've lost us half of our fare.
Well, let's away and say how much is done.